everybody, it's Amanda Kate, part of your Lightworkers support team, and this is my monthly Q&A that I do for my Patreon tribe and for all you lovely people on YouTube as well. If you have a question that you would like me to channel an answer to, you can find the monthly call for questions on my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/TTH. or on my community tab on YouTube. I always want to say Facebook, but no, it's on YouTube. Okay, so more interesting questions as usual. Thank you, everybody. Looks like we're going to talk about digital currencies. Digital currencies, the consciousness of money. We're going to talk about the 144,000 and a couple other little things. So I'm already kind of in state because I did another channeling right before this. So if I look a little spacey, that's why. All right, let's get started. Okay, the first question is from Ellen. How is money changing and will it turn into something else? Keep hearing about the central bank digital currencies and wondering if those will become the new way. And also any info on the consciousness of money, and interested in hearing about wealth consciousness and how to cultivate that in a healthy, balanced way. I remember channeling a year ago, and I don't know if I ever got the chance to put the second half of that channeling up. I think I didn't because it was going to require editing. It was just audio, I think. But I remember in that seeing a graph, and it was like our regular money, which, our dollars and cents or whatever, pounds and pence, wherever you live, and then the digital currency, and they eventually just sort of merged together. And at that time, I thought it meant the digital currency and the money system we currently use were going to be used side by side. But now I'm thinking, they may eventually just become one, because really we have digital currency already. Pretty much. I mean, we use our debit cards, we have all these electronic transactions. I don't know why I can't talk today. So it just seems like it would make sense from that perspective. I know it was designed, the digital currency, like Bitcoin, was designed for a different purpose and to be a different way. So I'm not really sure how that would happen, but let's go check. I will ask. All right. Okay, so the feeling I'm getting and what I was seeing was that central bank digital currencies are sort of going to continue to be controlled like our current currency is. Like, it's going to continue for a little while, just like our money system, which makes sense based on the graph that I had seen. But there's an interesting shift in everyone's consciousness, not just the people who are aware of it. Even the people, I would say even the people who are in power, who would never consider, this sounds mean, but would never consider the benefit to everyone. They would only consider the benefit to keeping the current system as it is and working for certain people and not working for other people. But I'm seeing that even those people's consciousness is shifting slowly over time, so that maybe and I hate to say 10 years down the road, but 10 years is just a marker because it's a good chunk of time. And it's easier to see that a big change will occur in 10 years than if I said, like, in 6 months. These people that have been like service to self and greedy and selfish, and if I'd said in 6 months, they're going to be totally different. That's hard to swallow, right? So I don't know the exact time frame, but just to say that we are in an energy of shifting consciousness. So even though this central bank digital currency will start out as just the same as our current monetary system, or any country's current monetary system, eventually it is going to shift because the consciousness of everyone in the collective is shifting. Like, there's no escaping it, really. There isn't. I mean, everything is going to change and shift, and there's no avoiding it at this point. So let me see if I can get a time frame. It's so nebulous because it's based on what we as a collective do and think and all that. But because I'm feeling an energy coming in and like soaking into everybody, I think that will shift the collective faster. Like, if nothing else happened, it would shift in a generation or two, and there are so many factors that could contribute, and we haven't decided what we're going to do with those yet. Like AI, everybody's freaking out about AI or commenting about it. There's so much going on about AI, and we don't know what we're going to do with that. I feel like there are other technologies that would impact this. So like our collectives, our higher selves as a collective whole, haven't decided exactly what to do yet, but encouraging that it will just, even if we do nothing, it will happen within a couple generations. And what will happen, meaning I'm checking to see if it's specifically around money, or I just feel a pervasive feeling of more everyone connecting to other as an extension of yourself. So like, you can't look at hungry people and say, well, at least I'm not hungry, because you'd be like, that makes me feel like I'm hungry because look, they're hungry and we need to give them food because we know what it would be like to not have food, or you know what I mean. All right, the consciousness of money, how to cultivate wealth consciousness in a healthy, balanced way. So wealth consciousness is a abundance for all. So what does that feel like? So if you wanted to be wealthy and you also wanted to feel abundance for all, then that would look like having enough for yourself, your family, if you want. Not just enough, but having like the space you wanted, the ability to do what you want, and also having enough that you can share and feel like for the amount you have, you're also giving so that others have an increase in their lifestyle proportionate to what your increase in lifestyle is. So that's the physical, mechanical nuts and bolts. Seems like there was another part. Hold on. Okay. And then the other thing is realizing that everything you want to do or have you don't have to own that to experience it. So like if you want to travel a lot, just have the intention that you want to travel a lot, not the intention. And this is what we do. We go, I want to travel a lot, so I need X amount of dollars and X amount of time off from work or whatever, and blah blah blah, so that I can be able to do that. But it doesn't really work like that, because think of all the people that travel all the time and they don't spend any of their own money. So there are ways, and the way the energy works, the way we just don't have words that explain things very well. The way the energy flows is the only woo-woo way I can only think of woo-woo ways to say it. The way it works is that if you start thinking, I want to be able to travel, and you don't put a limit on it, and you don't cut it off by saying, but I don't have X amount of dollars, or but I need X amount of dollars, or but I need time off, but I need a friend to go with, or whatever, or I need this country's borders to be open so I can go there, or I need a visa to get in. Instead of saying all those things that are limitations, you could just say, I really want to travel. That would make me really happy. I would like that. That would be really fun to me. And when you don't limit it, then you start seeing possibilities where you never saw them before. Because now there aren't any limits in your mind or in the energy. You haven't cut off. It's like this analogy they use of like a water hose, where you ask for something and the universe is sending the water down the hose, and then you just you cut off, you crimp it, because you've got all these limitations or all these specific ways that you think it has to come through. So you're like cutting off the flow of that energy from getting to you. It can't come out. Only this little drip can come out, because that's the only one way that you're allowing for that to come to you. So if you just leave it open and just say, I want to travel, end of statement. Or they say not to say I want to travel, because that means it's in the future and you don't have it yet. But say it however you want. But I think it's enough to say, I want to travel, and then you'll start seeing the possibilities. You'll start having these downloads of ideas of and you don't even have to sit and think about it. It'll just pop into your head. Or you'll be watching a TV show and that'll give you an idea. Or you'll be sitting at a restaurant and somebody at the next table will be saying something that will spark an idea. Or you'll meet somebody. Or something will happen to start you on that path to be able to travel, and you don't even need any money for it. So that's really the best way that it can work. That's part of manifesting. That's how it works. You just don't cut off the flow of the energy of the thing that you want by saying it only can come in a certain way because that's how I learned. It's not true. That's not the only way it can come to you. So, all right. Let me skip down to Rebecca's question, and then I'll come back, because I'm being long-winded and I've already taken up 17 minutes. Okay. All right. Rebecca says, I apologize for not being able to find the exact quotes or wording, but I recently was told Edgar Caycee reported that the 144,000 referenced in the book of Revelation was referring to the number of DNA in the human genome that had the potential to be activated or awakened with new abilities. Is this true? And if so, could you please go into detail describing some examples? Thank you. All right, let's go check it out. I think I channeled about the 144,000 before. And you guys, I didn't even know it was I didn't know it was from the Bible. I had no idea. Clearly not raised Christian. So anyway, I'm jiggling. Okay. All right. Okay, I better start talking or I'm gonna I'm not gonna get this whole concept out. Okay, so what it looks like is our consciousness is connected to obviously our consciousness is connected to the physical, or we wouldn't be able to walk and talk as humans or whatever, but so it's that connection. So we have that connection, and then when our consciousness shifts, as it's doing now, it's like, wow, this is hard. Okay, so it's like little parts of our gene expressions sort of unlock. Like I see all these little locks popping open. And it reminds me of Bruce Lipton's, how he says that your thoughts. Okay. So genes express based on things happening to you. Like, okay, so like stress can trigger a disease that, like, two people can have the gene for a disease, but this person got really stressed out, and so the gene expressed because of that. I don't know what the mechanism is, how it works like that. And then the other one is absolutely fine because they weren't stressed. So in that way, like your environment, the environment of your body causes the genes to express or not, or causes these little locks to pop. However, when you're increasing your consciousness so that you're allowing your connection to your higher self to be present with your conscious, like, human mind, the more we can do that, the more these, like, I don't even know what to call, I'm just calling them genes because I don't know what else to call them. But these little gene potentials open. So, okay, so that was the first part. So let me see what them opening does. I have an idea, but let me get a clearer way to explain. Okay, wow. So it seems like when that happens, it's like different proteins are created, or different, like there's a different chemistry in the body now. Which, let me see if they're going to give me any specific examples about what can happen when our chemistry changes. Okay, one is we have access to different feeling states, more enhanced feeling states. I feel like this is how we become more connected to each other as a collective, as a human collective, not as a higher self collective. So that's one. I feel like there's a potential for us to be smarter. Some way the brain can function, maybe more losing my words already. Not accurately, more efficiently. Thank you. Gosh, efficiently, more efficiently. So more efficient brains. And I feel like with the enhanced positive emotion and a more efficiently functioning brain, the body would be in much greater balance, which means a lot less or no disease. Seems like they're saying less need for food. And eventually, this seems like it's way down the road, but eventually, less dense bodies. Like, I don't know the science or the mechanics of this, but it would be like the space between the smallest possible physical components that make up the body would increase. So we would look less physical, I guess. We would look less dense, less physical. I feel like that's quite a ways off, but that's interesting. See if there's anything else. The ability to project our consciousness outside of our physical bodies. So, I'm thinking telepathy, but that's not the way they showed me. Looks like extending like a bubble of your thoughts, emotions, concepts, and sharing it with the consciousness of another person just by being, inside of each other's bubbles like this. You got your two bubbles, but you're sharing. They're saying we can kind of do this now, but we're not aware of it. But this would be like a conscious communing or sharing. That sounds really cool. All right. All right, I'm going to do one last question. Kristen wants to know, this is random, but I've always wondered what's happening energetically when we hear a sound like nails on a chalkboard or silverware on a plate. That. It's not just a disagreeable sound, it also feels so uncomfortable. I like that question. It's really interesting. Okay, let's see real quick. They're reminding me of what I've always heard, which is like, if you smell the smell of something, it can help you recall a memory. Like if you smell chocolate chip cookies baking, it might, like for me, it reminds me of coming home from school on a day when my mom was home from work because she had an appointment or something, and she would have just made chocolate chip cookies for us. So, smell can help you recall memory. And they're saying this kind of noise can also recall memory. And it's that even if you can't consciously recall, that it's the association that is the most impactful that makes it really unpleasant. But also that some people don't do well with certain frequencies. And so those frequencies are really going to be like almost painful because they don't match, like they go so far against your the native frequency of your being that it's like it hurts. It hurts to experience that. Not hear it so much as like that frequency runs through you. You want to hear something funny? Electric guitar. I can't deal with electric guitar. For some reason, it makes me want to punch people. Like, isn't that crazy? I don't know why. I don't, and it, maybe I have some memory association. I don't remember, but electric guitar makes me angry. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Okay. Too much information, probably. All right, that's all that I have time for today. Sorry I missed a couple of those. Hopefully, I can pick them up at another time. So, anyway, thank you guys for your questions. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have the best rest of June and a great 4th of July holiday. Be safe. Much love.